I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're delving into a powerful book. It is called The Message. It's written by a wonderful author. His name is Dr. Michael Ritivoi Hansen. It is an intimate and thought-provoking book, a look at life under communism. The doctor shares his personal experiences growing up in Romania under Soviet Communism, offering a critique, a powerful critique of Marxism and the loss of individuality within a totalitarian state. This book provides a rare first-hand view into the harsh realities of life under communist rule, combining history with personal insights. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Bookside Press for helping us put him in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Doctor, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Enjoy the opportunity.
Wonderful to have you on the show. We appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. It seems like this book, The Message, is an important message right now because a lot of people in the United States don't realize how crushing communism can be. Do you agree?
Totally agree, absolutely. And this concerns me. I came in the United States because it was a main anti-communist power on the face of the earth. And lo and behold, the communist is coming after me here.
Yeah.
It is a very strong lefty movement.
Yeah, it's frightening that people don't realize that communism is oppressive, that communism is evil, and it's actually much, much harder to succeed in a communist society. And that was your experience as well. Tell us what it was like growing up in Romania under Soviet communist rule.
Well, I was born at the end of the Second World War. Romania was still independent for about a year after I was born. And since I remember my father concerned about making a living under communism. It was preschool when my first memories I believe I put in the book.
Mm-hmm.
My father was listening to a Free Europe radio station, which was illegal under communism.
Mm.
And it was, I don't know how to call it in English. There was a lot of noises on the top of it, so you cannot listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
But my father was really into it and wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to bed. My small bed was in the same room with my parents. I didn't go to sleep, basically, until my father went to sleep first. And then I get out of my bed and change the radio station in case we get an unexpected communist raid. They are not going to find my father listening to Radio Free Europe.
Mm.
So once I turned it off, then I went to bed and I could sleep quietly until the morning.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of situation which follow me all the way through.
Mm.
In a way, I thought I can build a life of independence in communism, build my own life the way I like it, and do whatever I believe it's correct to do and forget about what everybody else is doing.
Mm.
And I was very successful. I was a good student, and I was very creative as a dentist in Romania. I was so creative that I became the chief of dental service in a certain area. And it was exciting. I was creative and I could do things which nobody could even think about. But in communism, all the decisions are made by the Communist Party. And the Communist Party was more interested in industry than it was in the dental business. In my dental profession, I have what Americans have today under welfare, and even less than that. I even didn't have amalgam for fillings, for God's sake. which was a basic, it was a elementary.
Right.
So I had to do fillings with cement, which was awful. So in this condition, as a chief of the service, they were making the plan for the next years of supply. And every year, year after year, the supply was less,
Mm.
less money for supply. So I figured out that I don't go anywhere. I only can go down. So in this situation, I decided to emigrate. Of course, emigration was not legal. Nobody was allowed to go anywhere.
Mm.
I wasn't allowed even to go in Soviet Union, for God's sake.
Mm.
No, I should to stay there because one day lose control of me, they never knew what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So basically, luckily, my wife blackmailed a communist official.
Good.
Can you believe that?
Amazing.
She had that thing, that courage I didn't have, but she did. What did she do? Years ago, years before, we filled a request for a 1 week trip in Istanbul.
Mhm.
Istanbul was the only free country on the list of trips somebody can have. So you put your name on the list, and the system decides if he'll let you go or not.
Mm.
And the system didn't give me any answer for 2 years. And I was stubborn enough. Every other month, I was going to the chief security officer and asked, well, do you have any answer for me?
Mm.
No, not yet. No, not yet. No, not yet. Until they were sure that I will give up and stop coming.
Right.
But meanwhile, happened something unexpected. Jimmy Carter.
Mm.
And he made an agreement with the communist system. The agreement was the United States would recognize the existing European borders after the Second War because those borders were not defined
Mm.
in any peace agreement. So United States will recognize the borders, and the communist system in return will give human rights to its citizens.
Mm.
All right, very interesting.
Yeah.
So then I got back into fit and I asked for my human rights. Give me an answer to my 2 years old request. And they didn't want to give me an answer.
Amazing.
So, yes. So at that moment, I have to remember it's long ago.
Yeah.
I sent a letter to Paul Goma. Paul Goma was a Romanian dissident,
Mhm.
was very staunch, and because of that, the communist Romanian system preferred to get rid of him and let him go in France. Go over there, do whatever you like in France, and leave us alone. All right. But once they sent him in France, they also sent a killer, a police officer, securitate officer, to go after him and kill him.
Mm.
When Paul Goma found this, he went straight to the French security, and tell them what the things are. And the French security, or the police, or whatever they call it, took charge of it and put him in a safe housing somewhere,
Mhm.
and published in the media that he was found dead on the street.
Wow.
And for Ceausescu, for the leader of Romania, this was proof that this man did what he was asked to do.
Mm.
And as a recompense, they let his family join him in France.
Mm.
And this is what everything that man wants. Once his family was there, he asked for political asylum himself.
Amazing.
Forget about. And then Paul Goma was again appeared in the press and did his thing and published his books and so forth. So at that point, well, I have to stretch my memories long ago. I asked for my human rights again. I went straight to the chief of security system in that district, and I said, "Well, give me an answer. Is
Yeah.
my human right? I want to know, yes or no." And I was prepared if they say no to cross the border illegally, which
Right.
was very difficult because they have dogs over there and they shot on sight. And even if you cross the strip in the other country, they still shoot you
Hmm.
and then pull you back in Romania, and it's legal.
Amazing. So did you finally
So,
get your answer? Did they finally say, okay, you could go?
so yes, they give me the right to go for 1 week in Istanbul.
Hmm.
And we went in Istanbul. But Istanbul was not that safe because it was a lot of communist movement in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have we had a African medical student in Romania.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to him and I said, "Look here, I can send you your dollars in Romanian lace in a much better change that you get it from the bank."
Mm-hmm.
So I got from him $200.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Sorry, I don't have more than that." And I gave him amount of lei for that, and that's it. And with those dollars, I bought a boat trip from Istanbul to Naples.
Wow. And
So
that
once
began
in
your
Naples,
journey
I
to
was out.
that began your journey to the West. Eventually, you wound up in the United States. I know
Correct.
you were an unlicensed dentist, but you were able to become a licensed dentist and
Yes.
build a career and build a practice that lasted decade and enjoy all the
Lasted,
wonderful promise of the
yeah,
United States. I mean, so I think a big part of your message is in the book, the message is the power of determination, the power of courage, the power of strength to follow your dreams. You knew that
yeah,
what you wanted wasn't in Romania, not under the communist rule, and you were willing to persevere and travel with your wife to the United States. And thank goodness you made it. And it's a wonderful immigrant story. And you eventually found a sponsor who helped you come to the United States. And I think
yes, it was
it
for
really,
Romanian.
really, really wonderful. Really wonderful. This book is terrific, folks. We've talked a little bit about the details of life under communism, a system that is so threatening, so oppressive that people will literally risk their lives to leave it. And
Yes,
the doctor was able to get out of the country and make his way from Istanbul to Naples and onward to the West and never look back because
correct.
he had found the promise of the United States eventually. And that promise still holds. The name of the book is The Message. It is an intimate look, a thought-provoking book, a look at life under communism. The doctor shares his
Right.
personal experiences, some of which you've just heard, and offers a powerful critique of Marxism and the loss of individuality within a totalitarian state. This story is a true American success story, and it was born out of hard work, determination, and courage. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for this opportunity.
I-
Anyway, the first thing when I was in Istanbul, I went to German embassy in Istanbul, and I wanted to ask for political asylum in Germany. And the German said, "No, I understand very much your situation, but right now we try to get the original German people found in the East.
Mm,
We try to get them back in Germany right now. This is our main concern right now." So I couldn't get anything. When I was in Italy, I tried to go to Switzerland because I have two cousins in Switzerland.
mm,
And the Switzerland said no. He said, "Well, do you have a list? Do you have a list of friends or something
Mm.
in the West you can get in touch with. I said, yes, I do. She said, may I see it? Sure. I gave him the booklet. Okay, he said, well, come back in half an hour. To half an hour, I had back. They gave me the booklet back. They copied it all for their own records. And they said, sorry, we cannot accept you.
Huh.
Did I stay over there? And they said, no, no. I said, all right. They said, you have to leave within an hour. And I said, well, I realized away, no reason to stay there.
Yeah.
But, I could stay there illegally, but I didn't want to. I want everything to be clear and legal.
Mm.
And this is always coming in my mind when I see these people in the United States coming illegally in hordes.
Yeah.
How can they? Because their situation is illegal. They are nowhere. They don't have any rights. Well, what life is that?
Exactly. No, you make a very good point. Immigration is great, but you do have to come in legally. You can't
Exactly.
just come here and basically start off your life as a criminal. And
Exactly.
you waited for your turn. You waited for the proper channels to open. You waited to become an American. And God bless you for that. Doctor, I appreciate your time here today. Thank you so much for joining me. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.